All right, family. So listen, the United States of America is out in those waters and they are not playing games. I mean, people are getting killed, okay? The numbers are rising. This is not a game. This first started out like one vessel being shot out of the water, and the reply to the rest of the world was, when they asked, why'd you do it? The reply was, that's a drug boat, and those are drug dealers, and we blew them out the water. And everybody applauded, yay, because 3 people died, right? And then it was 6, and then it was 9, and then it was 12, and then it was 15, and then it was 20, and then it was 30, and then it was 40, and then it was 50. You get the drift, okay? So, and then it was boat after boat after boat after boat. Listen to the information in this video right here, and then I'll see you at the end of the video. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. If you've never been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on this channel. And without further ado, let's get right into the material. So this article was printed in Jamaica that says Washington, United States, AFP, U.S. forces on Thursday struck another alleged drug trafficking boat in the Caribbean, killing 3 more people. The Pentagon chief, Pete Hegseth, said, bringing the death toll from Washington's controversial anti-narcotics campaign to at least 70. That means at least 70 people have been killed so far by the U.S. striking these boats out in the Caribbean waters. The United States began carrying out such strikes, which experts say this amounts to extrajudicial killings, even if they were actually targeting known traffickers. In early September, taking aim at vessels in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific. Now, the strikes have destroyed at least 18 vessels so far, 17 boats, and a semi-submersible. But Washington has yet to make public any concrete evidence that its targets were smuggling narcotics or that they even posed a threat to the United States of America like they have accused them of doing. This is super dangerous because people are dying. Yes, we're up to about 70 now, and no proof whatsoever has been given to the public saying we are killing in the name of the United States of America, and this is the reason why we're doing it. All we're seeing is these boats being blown up with people on them, and then we're being told that they were smuggling narcotics. Now, I might be a bit slow, but from what I know about the United States of America is when you accuse somebody of something, then you find proof, and then you bring them through a judicial process where the proof is presented before jury, judge in a court of law, and it is decided that you are found guilty because the proof says that you are guilty. In these cases, there are no proof. So Hegseth released aerial footage on X, that used to be Twitter, of the latest strike that took place, which he said took place in international waters like the previous strikes and targeted what he called a vessel that was operated by a designated terrorist organization. Who is the designated terrorist organization that that boat was being operated by? And is there proof that they were indeed smuggling narcotics or that they were being a threat to the United States of America, where they deserve to be wiped off the face of the earth by dropping an explosive on them in the middle of the ocean? The video showed a boat, and the boat was traveling through the waters, and then, boom, it explodes into flames. It is said that 3 males were on that boat, and according to Hegseth, he described it as 3 male narco-terrorists who were aboard the vessel were killed. This is what he said. 3 male narco-terrorists were aboard that boat and they got killed without any further identifying information. So nothing else is coming to the public about who these people are that are on this boat. Is there drugs on the boat? Were they trafficking on that boat? Where was their destination intended to be? What direction were they heading in, etc., etc.? Because if they were not heading to any U.S. territory, or they were not heading in a direction that would be harmful to the U.S., or we cannot prove that they were smuggling anything, then is this okay? Is it okay to just drop bombs on people, have them disappear from the face of the earth, and then just say, well, we wiped them off the face of the earth because they're narcotic smugglers? So to all narcotics terrorists who threaten our homeland, if you want to live, he said, stop trafficking drugs. And if you keep trafficking deadly drugs, we will kill you, he wrote. Wow. Not for nothing, but I don't think this is stopping all the drugs that's coming into the United States of America anyways. And people have their theories as to why the United States of America has positioned itself in that part of the world and are doing these strikes. And it probably has nothing to do with stopping drugs from coming into the United States of America. Make no mistake about it. The average small-time drug dealer has no control over international waters, the Caribbean Sea, has no control over our docks and wharfs, has no control over how to curate and move tons of cocaine or whatever else other illegal drugs there is. And of course, there has not been any shortage of the supply of drugs in the United States of America because the junkies are still getting to their drugs. And I don't hear dealers complaining. I mean, I'm not around them, but it's not a widespread complaint that everybody knows about. So, like some previous videos that were released by the US government, a section of the boat is, I guess they say, targeted for unspecified reasons. President Donald Trump's administration has built up significant force in Latin America in what says is his campaign to stamp out drug trafficking. As a matter of fact, the president recently spoke about fighting on the water and then taking the fight to land, which had many people thinking, oh shit, I guess the US is going to go have a war in Mexico on the ground, fighting with the cartel, or have a war in that other place, Venezuela, fighting on the ground in Venezuela. So far, the US has deployed 6 Navy ships into the Caribbean, and they have sent F-35 stealth warplanes to Puerto Rico, staged, and they have ordered the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier strike group into the region as well. This looks like a posturing for a war. The government and families of those who were killed in the U.S. strikes have said that many of these dead family members of theirs were civilians. Most of them were primarily fishermen, and this is how they made their living, going out into these waters and fishing. Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, has repeatedly accused Donald Trump of seeking to oust him, take him out of power. There's actually a reward on his head from the United States of America. The U.S. bombers have also conducted shows of force near Venezuela, flying over the Caribbean Sea off the country's coast on at least 4 different occasions since mid-October. Kinda
nerve-rattling to look up and see them and know that they're there and they could attack at any time. That's what those types of missions are designed to do, a show of force. Maduro, which is Venezuela's president, who has been indicted on drug charges in the United States of America, he insists that there is no drug cultivation in his country and says that he used as a trafficking route. He says his country is being used as a trafficking route for Colombian cocaine against their will. It's not like he's working with them. They are a powerful cartel and they are using his country just like how Jamaica is used as a conduit, just like how Haiti is used, just like how the Dominican Republic is used. The Trump administration has said in a notice to Congress that the United States is engaged in armed conflict with Latin American drug cartels, describing them as terrorist groups as part of its justification for these strikes that have killed 70 people so far and counting. The United Nations has asked the United States to please cease its campaign, with Rights Chief Volker Turk saying that the killings have taken place in circumstances that they find no justification in international law. In other words, the United Nations is actually saying that America is committing extrajudicial killings and these are not justified under international laws. Please stop. But Donald Trump at the head, and Hegseth is forging right ahead with the mission. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a stop because Hegseth's last message is that we will kill you. So obviously, to all narco terrorists who threaten our homeland, if you want to stay alive, stop trafficking drugs. And if you keep trafficking deadly drugs, we will kill you, he wrote. That means they're not listening to the UN, and the US has no intentions of stopping either. How do you think this is going to turn out? I have no dog in this fight.
All right, and now that you've come to the end of the video, listen, I told my audience, right? I said, you're dealing with the big, bad United States of America. And a lot of people are like, why you sound like that when you talk about them? Because you served in the military in the US, you think they're untouchable and all this other stuff. It's not that. It's just that I'm a realistic person. Anybody who has served in the United States of America's military, especially if you are in a combat arms MOS, you know the power that this military holds. And you know it better than any civilian out there. So civilians can talk, but they don't know until they know. By the way, today is Veterans Day, and I want to say salute to every veteran out there you served. And nobody can take that away from you. You know, you made a decision to be a part of something that is way bigger than yourself, and that in itself is something big. Then, all the experiences we had and shared, it's only us. Nobody else can relate completely to what you've been through. From MEPS to boot camp, to your first duty station, to any deployments, to whatever you did throughout your PCSing, station to station, your ETSing, getting out, saying goodbye, your retirement, whatever it is, right? Or just leaving early to go start life over somewhere else with whatever else, or continuing, whatever you did. It's a journey that only those who did it can understand it, and it's because of you why we have a military that the rest of our country, the United States of America, are able to say we're well protected because our military is mighty and powerful. Now, that has nothing to do with the video you just watched. That's a totally different subject, okay? Leave your comments in the comment section below. And you enjoy your freedoms here in this here United States of America. I say you thank a vet, all right? And those who are currently serving as well. But today is the 11th of the 11th, November 11th, 2025. I'm saluting veterans. I'm out. Peace.